This is a self-portrait made by Marie Laurencin, who was born in Paris in 1883 and passed away there in 1956. This was made in 1914 and it is an oil on cardboard. This was found at the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts. The details are from them as well. This was part of their Paris in the Days of Post-Impressionism, Signac, and the Independants exhibit that they had some time ago. Marie Laurencin started as a porcelain painter in Sèvres at 18 years old. Later on in her life, she focused on doing oil painting. She was part of both the avant-garde movement and the Cubist movement known as Section d'Art. Her works were exhibited, amongst others, in the Galerie d'Almaux in 1912 and the Salon d'Automne in 1911-1912 exhibition. She later married Baron von Wagen, which led to her not only losing her French citizen, but also during World War I, being exiled mainly in Spain. They did live briefly in Dusseldorf, and she claimed missing Paris greatly. After her divorce, she returned to the city, where she had difficulty financing herself because of the Great Depression. She became an art instructor at a private school to make ends meet. Her works were influenced by Picasso and George Braque, amongst others, which were centered amongst abstractions of groups of women and animals. She presents a uniquely feminine form that focuses on pastel colors and Culvinaire forms. She was also influenced by Fauvism, but later was influenced by Cubism. She continued showing a favoritism of presenting the female form in soft pastels and ethereal manner throughout her career. So what I really like about this painting is, like I said earlier in the video, you see the Cubism influence where the human body isn't presented exactly how it should be, but she doesn't go full on Picasso where it feels like this distortion of the human body, right? Because I think I have a video on specifically Cubism where the whole point of that movement, or at least part of it, is to show all parts of the human body. So in here, you're not really seeing that 100%, but you can almost feel like it's not quite the normal human portrait, right? It's not really how the human face should look like, right? It seems a little bit too elongated, a little too oval in shape, right? And you're really seeing the bare minimum, right? The nose really isn't very detailed, the mouth isn't very detailed. Same thing with the eyes. You can't really see the ears, etc. Right? So you get the sense of a human face. You get the sense of a portrait, but you're not going into great details. You're not seeing the pores. You're not counting the hairs on the head, etc. Right? You're seeing the very essence of what a portrait is without going into details. And that's really oftentimes what you're going to see in a lot of her paintings. You get the essence of a human face, right? You get the essence of a woman without showing everything. And I think that's a really good tactic to go, because it's like you're almost putting yourself into this painting as well to some degree, right? You can sort of see that this can be a lot of different women. It doesn't have to be just Marie. Obviously, this is technically a self-portrait, right? But it could be, your cousin, that you haven't seen in 3 weeks, or it could be the neighbor 3 doors down or whatever, right? It's not necessarily, okay, yeah, this is definitely this particular person, right? So I really like that there's just enough details that you know what it is, but not so much that, okay, it can only be that and that's it, right? Now, obviously, I'll try to also have a pop up of her actual what Marie looks like. The resemblance is there, right? So I'm not saying that it's not a portrait of her at all, but you can tell that this is not 100% accurate, and it's an exact photocopy of Marie Laurencin. So I do like that. For me, the colors in this particular painting are lacking. It could be brighter. It's very kind of brown, kind of dark. It could be more brighter colors. The pink is not really very pink. The blue isn't very blue. It doesn't really pop. But I think with her, that's the whole point, is not to be very showy and attention grabbing. It's really just, let's get to the basics. Let's get to what is a woman, what makes me who I am as a person. How can I get to the essence of my self portrait without it being dramatic or an exaggeration of who I am as a person?